It's horrible. There are so many hard parts. The hardest for me is the kids. That's the hardest for me.
After years of silence, Kelly Clarkson finally spoke, saying, "To this day, nobody knew this about Brandon Blackstock." The statement surprised everyone. Fans were left wondering, what was it about Brandon that remained hidden for so long? What had Kelly chosen to reveal after his death? And why did she stay quiet all those years? Was it to protect his name, their relationship's integrity, or something else entirely? What she reveals will shock, move, and change the way you see their story. The silent goodbye. On August 7th, 2025, Brandon Blackstock, Kelly's ex-husband and the father of her two youngest children, passed away at the age of 48. Few people knew he had been fighting melanoma, a brutal form of skin cancer, for 3 years. For Kelly, who had weathered a very public and bitter divorce from him, the silence surrounding his illness was not only intentional, but deeply protective. For months, fans had noticed Kelly's absence from The Kelly Clarkson Show. She missed tapings without explanation, and while celebrity friends like Andy Cohen and Brooke Shields filled in, speculation grew louder with every empty chair. Rumors ranged from vocal health problems to secret breakdowns, but Kelly remained tight-lipped. It wasn't until August 6th, just one day before Brandon's death, that she finally cleared the air. Her words on Instagram carried a weight that hinted at a private storm. "While I normally keep my personal life private, this past year, my children's father has been ill, and at this moment, I need to be fully present for them." It was the first time she had let the world in on what was really happening behind her sudden absences and schedule changes. Concerts postponed, episodes of The Kelly Clarkson Show missing her presence. People had speculated, but Kelly had chosen silence until she could no longer keep the truth at bay. Brandon's family released a statement soon after, confirming what fans now feared. Brandon bravely battled cancer for more than 3 years. He passed away peacefully and was surrounded by family. "We thank you for your thoughts and prayers and ask everyone to respect the family's privacy during this very difficult time." The words painted a picture of dignity, of a man who carried his struggle quietly, never letting it become a spectacle. For Kelly, the loss was complicated. Their marriage had collapsed under the weight of legal battles, financial disputes, and accusations that had filled headlines for years. Yet, in the middle of all that noise, there was still the bond of their children. River, who was just 11, and Remington, only 9. She had fought fiercely to protect them from the chaos of divorce, and now she was determined to shield them from the crushing pain of grief. Her decision to step back from the spotlight, to cancel shows and halt television appearances, was rooted in one thing: her children's need for stability. On stage, Kelly has always been raw and unfiltered. Her voice carries emotions that often feel too heavy to name, and yet she sings them anyway. In her personal life, though, she has fought to keep some things hidden. Friends close to her have described her as protective, even fiercely so, especially when it comes to Brandon's legacy in the eyes of their children. Despite the bitterness that once defined their relationship, Kelly never stopped being emotionally invested in his role as their father. She wanted River and Remington to know that their dad was loved and that his fight was brave. Even after their divorce, Kelly stayed by Brandon's side, caring for him till her very last breath. That kind of devotion makes you wonder, what must their bond have been like when they were together? Let's rewind and step into Kelly's world to truly feel the depth of their connection. A fateful first meeting. Kelly Clarkson first laid eyes on Brandon Blackstock in May 2006 during rehearsals for the ACM Awards. She remembered the moment vividly. "This guy walks by making everybody laugh. I said, I'm gonna end up with him. I know it." There was something about the way he carried himself, the ease with which he lit up a room, that left an impression on her. Even then, long before anything romantic happened, Kelly felt a spark she couldn't ignore. It was the kind of feeling that sticks with you, a whisper of something extraordinary waiting to unfold. Years passed, and life moved in its unpredictable rhythm. Brandon went on with his career, managing artists and navigating the complexities of the music industry, while Kelly pursued her path as a rising star. Fate, however, had other plans. In February 2012, their paths crossed again at the Super Bowl. Kelly was performing the national anthem, a high-pressure moment on one of the world's biggest stages. Brandon, still married at the time, was there managing other artists. Kelly later admitted with a laugh that her nerves had little to do with the performance itself. They were about impressing him. That brief reconnection was electric, an unspoken acknowledgement that their story was far from over. Just days later, on February 11, 2012, they went on their first date. It was a date overshadowed by the death of Whitney Houston, an event that Kelly joked felt like a bad omen, though the chemistry between them was undeniable. Conversation flowed effortlessly, laughter came easily, and by the end of the night, there was a sense of possibility, a quiet understanding that this connection was rare. Over the following months, their bond deepened. Kelly saw in Brandon not just a partner, but someone who understood the demands of her world, who could match her ambition and share in her dreams. By December 14, 2012, Brandon proposed over a candlelit dinner at their Nashville home. The proposal was poetic and unexpected, and Kelly found herself caught off guard, overwhelmed with joy and certainty. Their wedding followed on October 20, 2013, at Blackberry Farm in Tennessee. It was an intimate celebration filled with friends, family, and moments that felt almost cinematic. Kelly shared her excitement with the world on social media, tweeting, "I'm officially Mrs. Blackstock." There was laughter, music, and an undeniable warmth surrounding them. A sense that this union was the beginning of something lasting. Their marriage seemed picture perfect. But how deeply did their professional and personal worlds intertwine? And what song emerged from that union? Let's tell you surprising details. Marriage, music, and business. Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock's life together was a mix of love, family, and shared ambition. They welcomed their first child, a daughter named River Rose, in June 2014. 2 years later, in April 2016, they celebrated the arrival of their son, Remington Alexander. Their family felt complete, not just with the children they shared, but also with the blending of Brandon's previous family. He was already a devoted father to Savannah and Seth from his earlier marriage, and Kelly stepped into the role of stepmother with care and commitment. Watching their family grow, it was easy to see the warmth and laughter that filled their home, the quiet moments that made even ordinary days feel extraordinary. Beyond the personal connection, Brandon played a pivotal role in Kelly's professional world. As her manager, he was a constant source of guidance and encouragement. He was instrumental in helping her launch the Kelly Clarkson Show in 2019, a career move that expanded her presence far beyond music. He believed in her vision, pushed her to take creative risks, and helped her navigate the complexities of the entertainment industry. Their professional bond was intertwined with their personal life, creating a partnership that was both ambitious and nurturing. They celebrated each other's wins, leaned on one another during setbacks, and shared the thrill of building something meaningful together. Amid the highs of family life and professional success, Kelly channeled her experiences into her music, capturing raw emotion and vulnerability. Her 2015 album, Piece by Piece, was deeply personal, especially the title track. Written about Brandon's reliability and support compared to her absent father, the song resonated with fans and became a tearful signature moment in her career. Every lyric carried the weight of her journey, the longing for security, and the gratitude for a partner who showed up when it mattered most. What once celebrated the strength of their bond would take on new significance after their divorce, reflecting a journey that was no longer just about love, but also loss and resilience. Her artistry continued to evolve. By the time she released her 2023 album Chemistry, Kelly was exploring the arc of an entire relationship, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Critics described the album as an intimate reflection of her journey through marriage and its eventual collapse. Each song was a window into her heart, exposing the complexity of emotions she experienced over the years with Brandon. Listeners could feel the echoes of joy, tension, and heartbreak, understanding that behind the music was a woman who had lived fully, loved deeply, and faced profound challenges. That union lasted nearly 7 years, but what ruptured it? What led to the heartbreak that fans watched unfold from afar? Let's reveal the turning point in a story that was as human as it was unforgettable. Divorce, courts, and chaos. Kelly Clarkson made the difficult decision to file for divorce in June 2020. The announcement came as a shock to many, but those close to her understood that the marriage, which had once been full of laughter, music, and shared dreams, had reached a breaking point. The divorce was finalized in March 2022, bringing a legal close to a chapter that had been both deeply personal and publicly scrutinized. Even amid the proceedings, Kelly maintained her focus on the most important parts of her life: her children, her career, and her own emotional well-being. Custody and property arrangements quickly became central. In November 2020, Kelly was awarded primary physical custody of their children, River Rose and Remington Alexander. A judge formally declared her legally single in August 2021, marking a significant milestone in reclaiming her independence. Thanks to the protections of her prenuptial agreement, Kelly was able to retain 2 Montana properties. Yet, in a gesture that reflected the complexity of their lingering connection, she gave Brandon 5% ownership of one ranch in January 2022. Even in the legal battles, there were small acknowledgments of the shared history that still existed between them. Financial settlements were substantial and closely watched. Early in 2022, Kelly paid Brandon a lump sum of $1.3 million. Spousal support was set at $115,000 per month until January 2024, though temporary orders at the start of the divorce had reached as high as $150,000 per month. Child support was approximately $45,600 per month, continuing until the children reached adulthood. These numbers, while striking, only hint at the reality behind the court documents. The negotiations were tense, emotional, and deeply personal, affecting not just finances, but the daily rhythm of their family life. The legal journey did not end there. In November 2023, Kelly won a labor ruling that awarded her over $2.6 million after proving that Brandon had unlawfully procured commissions from her work as her talent manager. This vindication was more than financial. It was an acknowledgement of her autonomy and hard work, a confirmation that she could stand firm in both her personal and professional life. Throughout all of this, Kelly remained committed to her role as a mother. She described herself as a mama bear, prioritizing her children's emotional security and stability above everything else. Even in the midst of divorce, both Kelly and Brandon spoke publicly with a mixture of restraint and acknowledgement. Kelly maintained respect for Brandon as the father of her children, focusing on the positive aspects of their shared history rather than fueling drama. Brandon, for his part, offered measured statements, reflecting a desire to co-parent without publicly disparaging his ex-wife. While fans often speculated about tensions, their communications remained focused on the family they had created together, showing that even in heartbreak, there was a layer of care and responsibility. Just when fans thought the battle was over, an even more private struggle began. Arduous, untamable, and heartbreaking. The legal documents tell one story, but the emotional weight of rebuilding a life after a highly public marriage is something only those who lived it could truly understand. Hidden illness and final days. After their divorce, Brandon Blackstock faced one of the most difficult chapters of his life. Privately, he battled melanoma for over 3 years, a struggle that remained largely out of the public eye. Even as his health declined, his connection with his children, River Rose and Remington Alexander, remained unwavering. Friends and family described him as a devoted father, someone who cherished every moment with them, read stories, shared laughter, and tried to maintain a sense of normalcy despite the shadow of illness. The bond he shared with his children never faltered. It was a source of comfort for them and a quiet testament to his love. Kelly Clarkson, for her part, approached the situation with strength, compassion, and a singular focus on the well-being of the children. Though their marriage had ended, she never wavered in her care for Brandon or the family they had built together. Her commitment went beyond public statements. She spent time visiting him, checking in on his health and ensuring that the kids could see both parents present and involved. Throughout his final years, Brandon's focus was always on his children, while Kelly balanced grief, duty, and her career. She became a steady presence, protecting their daily life from the harsh glare of public scrutiny while quietly navigating her own emotions. Brandon passed away peacefully, surrounded by family. His obituary highlighted his relationship with his partner, Brittany Marie Jones, but did not mention Kelly, though those who knew the full story understood the depth of her support. On September 4th, Kelly returned to the public eye with an emotional Instagram tribute commemorating her 2002 American Idol win, her first public moment since his passing. The post subtly reflected grief, resilience, and her enduring commitment to her children. In the wake of this profound loss, Kelly faces her most challenging role yet, nurturing her children while reclaiming her own voice and moving forward. Healing, legacy, and Kelly's voice. After Brandon Blackstock's passing, Kelly Clarkson has shown a quiet, unwavering strength. Though grief is never straightforward, she has remained deeply focused on her children, River Rose and Remington Alexander, putting their well-being at the center of her life. Friends note that she has shielded them from the harsh glare of public scrutiny, creating a sense of stability and normalcy while privately navigating her own sorrow. This period has been one of reflection and resilience, a testament to her commitment as a mother and her ability to carry on despite immense personal loss. Even as she grieved, Kelly began to reconnect with her audience. Songs and Stories, with Kelly Clarkson, recorded before Brandon's death, aired between mid-August and early September 2025, offering glimpses of her warmth, humor, and storytelling abilities. It was a gentle reintroduction to the world, a reminder of her enduring presence and the power of music to heal. Soon after, preparations were underway for the return of The Kelly Clarkson Show for its 7th season on September 29, 2025, with production resuming the week of September 8th. Meanwhile, her role as a coach on The Voice will continue with season 29 in spring 2026, signaling that even in the face of personal tragedy, she remains committed to her craft and the opportunities to inspire others. Kelly's healing journey has also taken a deeply personal and artistic form. During a recent performance of Piece by Piece, she reflected on Brandon with emotional clarity, describing him as not at his worst, not at his best, but the man in between. Her words captured the complexity of love, loss, and the passage of time. The recognition that human relationships are never simple, and that grief often carries a spectrum of emotions. Fans and colleagues alike were struck by the raw honesty and grace with which she conveyed this sentiment, reminding everyone that healing does not erase memory, but reshapes it. Her creative renewal has been equally profound. Chemistry, her 2023 album, was deeply shaped by her divorce and explored themes of heartbreak, resilience, and growth. In early 2025, she took the next step in her artistic journey by establishing her own independent label. This move reflects a broader evolution in her career, turning personal pain into purpose and asserting her voice not just as a performer, but as a creator and leader in her industry. It is a reclamation of agency and an affirmation of the lessons she has learned through love, loss, and perseverance. Through it all, Kelly has shown that strength and vulnerability can coexist. She continues to nurture her children, rebuild her life, and channel her experiences into music that resonates universally. Her story is one of enduring love, profound grief, and the courage to reclaim her voice. Through every challenge, heartbreak, and triumph, Kelly Clarkson has shown strength, resilience, and unwavering love for her family. Fans around the world admire not just her talent, but her courage and honesty in navigating life's most difficult moments. No matter what the future holds, Kelly will always be loved and supported, cherished for her music, her heart, and the inspiration she continues to bring to so many lives. What do you think about their relationship and the way Kelly cared for him? Share your thoughts in the comments below.